before you start configuring NTP, and I almost forgot, you want to set your clock to, you know, whatever the correct time is. In your time zone, you can do it by, you know, you can do it by Zulu time, which is GMT. Right now, I'm just going to configure it to, you know, the local time here, Central Standard Time, which is 0846. So to do that, you just do clock, set, and then you just follow, you know, just question mark and look, and you see it's hour, minute, seconds form. What we're going to do is just 0846, and then here the day, I believe today's the 17th, so we'll just put 17, and then the month is September, and the year is 2009. And that's it. So now if we do a show clock, you can see that I have the correct time. Now that that's done, I can go ahead and start configuring the network time protocol. Again, from global config, just NTP. What we want to do is set this as the master. And then, as you can see here, the stratum number. The stratum number is going to be used for, it's pretty much used for, believe, you know, for, you know, how valid the time actually is. So, you know, your best stratum servers have a stratum of 1, because the lower is the better, you know, more believable time. You know, pretty much the better the time is trusted. The higher it gets, you know, higher, you know, like a 15 stratum will be your worst. So we'll just set the NTP master. We'll make it a 3. If you just do NTP, you can see here, if I just, you know, I can just hit return from here, and what the default NTP time will be is a stratum of 8. So right now what we're going to do, we'll just set it to, we'll just leave it, we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll just default it to use the default, which is a stratum of 8. So if we do a show clock, if we do a show NTP, and here you do status. See here now that it says clock is synchronized with stratum of 8, reference IP, and you can see I have a lot more options here. I guess what I could do is show you what it looked like before. If I do a no NTP master, go back, do a show NTP status, you can see here clock is unsynchronized, stratum is 16. So that's what you get if you're not synchronized. It'll come up and say that you're not synchronized. But if you are synchronized, it'll tell you that you are, and it'll tell you what your stratum is, and your reference clock, and where you're learning the time from, and all that, and I'll show you that. So here again, under global config, we just want to make this the master again. So let's do NTP master. Now what we want to do is, in a multi-access environment, we're going to actually go under the interface. So we want to broadcast this out, which is our fastest unit 00. So we'll interface fastest unit 00, and then we'll do IT. I think it's I. Let's see here. Okay, NTP, and then here you have. You can do multicasting, the NTP. You can disable it on the port. What we're going to do is we're going to do NTP broadcast. This is multi-access. And we're just going to leave it with NTP broadcast for now. So as the server, I'm broadcasting this out. The NTP debugs, I haven't really found any ones that are really, really say a lot. You know, really tell you a lot. Like this one, I guess it's just transmitting. You can see here it's transmitting the packet to the broadcast address, all 255s, on this multi-access network. So anybody else who's listening will pick up this. So we should get on router 1 and 2, we should be able to pick up this broadcast that router 0 is sending out. He's saying, hey, look, I'm an NTP master for this network, and this is my stratum, and so and the real time and all that. So let's go to router 1 and see what we see here. If we do a show NTP status right now on router 1, you can see that we don't have anything going on. It's because what we need to do is we need to configure R1 to pay attention to the NTP broadcasts that router 0 is sending out to us. Because by default this is going to ignore this information. So if we do a show clock right now, you can see that our clock is sent for 1993, which is not the right time. So what we want to do is we want to go under, again, we'll go under the interface, fast Ethernet 00, and we got to specify pretty much on a per interface basis what, what you want to do with NTP. Or you want to broadcast, you want to, and we want to choose NTP broadcast out the fast Ethernet 00, and we're going to choose what we want to do here is you can see the client option basically allows us to listen to NTP broadcasts on this port. And our fast Ethernet 00 port is our port that's connected to the subnet 192.168.1.0. So all three of these interfaces are in the same broadcast domain. So if I choose NTP broadcast here and then client, that means that this port I'm going to be actively listening for NTP packets. Before I do that, if I were to do a debug NTP packet and then maybe a debug NTP events, and now if I go back to the interface and do NTP broadcast and then we'll do client, we should get some notifications here. You show NTP status. You can see right now we're still unsynchronized, but you see here that we do get, before when we